Okay, so a very good afternoon to all of you. I hope I'm audible. I am audible. Okay, so now last class we were discussing about E-plane T, and in that we have taken that the three port, and all the three port were perfectly matched. So in that matched condition, see, first of all the three ports cannot be perfectly matched. Okay, so if we take all the three ports which is matched, then what will happen? And we also saw that E-plane T, we have electric field which is parallel to the axis of third port side arm, that is shown here. You can see the electric field at the collinear port 1, a collinear arm at port 1, that is indicated as vertically, which is going, and which is parallel to the axis of side arm. So in that we have seen that port 1 and port 2 are 180-degree out of phase, and that will give you that S13 is equal to minus S23, or maybe S23 is equal to minus S13. So that was there. Okay. Also, we have taken all the S matrix properties, and using the S matrix properties, by using S matrix properties, like we have unitary property and zero property of that S matrix. Okay, then symmetry property and all that we have uses, and we found out that there is a contradictory stage, that S13 and S23 is both become zero. Okay, so if S3 and S23, S13 and S23 become zero, so if you have input from port 3, so you are getting that and you're taking output from port 1, so it will become 0. And similarly S3 to S2, so if you are applying input at port 3, you are getting output at port 2, so it will also 0. So it should not be 0. Okay, it should not be 0, because if you are taking input, we cannot there is a transmitting, you can say, transmittance, you can say, or transmitted wave, that is scattering coefficient S13, that will become 0. So that should not be there. So whatever the input you are applying, you are not your output is not reaching at third port. So that means you can say whatever you are applying at port 3, you are not getting anything at port 1, and you are applying input at port 3, you are not getting anything at port 2. So it's suggests that this is a contradictory stage. So we cannot take simultaneously all the port as perfect matched. Okay, so to avoid this, we take as a port 3 is a perfectly matched, and these two port we take it as a output port. Okay, so in that we have already seen the scattering matrix for this for these condition. Okay, so now we have next, we have H plane T. So H plane T, so H plane T, in that we have magnetic field. Okay, and the configuration is like this. We have the two port rectangular waveguide, which is here. Okay, which having dimension, which is this called A, and this is B. Similar, which we have taken the E plane T junction. So this is called the collinear arm. But here we are not taking the side arm, we are not taking on the vertically on this. Okay, so here side arm is attached in this fashion. Okay, so you take a mobile phone. Okay, you take a mobile phone, put it on your palm, and this is your mobile phone, put it on palm. Take one more mobile phone which is having two port, or rectangular waveguide which is having two port. Just take it as assumption that mobile phone is act as a two port network. So just example. So this waveguide will be connected in the B side. Okay, so uh, in this side we just attach this third you can say the second rectangular waveguide, and here it will make a junction. So here it will make a junction, and junction is there, so they will have a S matrix, and S matrix which have a dimension of 3 cross 3. So because we are getting a 3 port, so one port will vanish at this point at the junction, and we are getting one port, two port, and third port. So this port is called as a side arm, and this is port is called as a collinear arm. Okay, so H plane T is formed by attaching a simple waveguide to a rectangular waveguide which already has two port. Okay, so we just take rectangular waveguide, two rectangular waveguide, which is having two port, and these two rectangular waveguide is connected in this fashion. So now you can see the axis of the side arm will be in this way. So axis of the side arm will be in this way. So now you can say here we have the arm of the rectangular waveguide make two port, which is called collinear port, that is port 1 and port 2, while the new port 3 is called side arm, also called as a H arm. There it was called as a E arm, side arm is called E arm, and the port 1 and port 2 was there, which is called collinear port. This H plane T is also called as a shunt T. There it was called as a series T. Now it is called as a shunt T. Okay. So as the axis of side arm is parallel to the magnetic field, so axis of the side arm is parallel to the magnetic field. Okay. So this junction is called H plane T. Now you can say we are applying electric field in this fashion. So magnetic field will be like magnetic field will be in this fashion. So magnetic field basically is parallel to the axis of this side arm. So if the magnetic field H is parallel to the side arm, so that's why it is called as a H plane T. Okay, there it was electric field which is parallel to the side arm axis of the side arm. So that's why it is called as a E plane T. There it was called as a E plane T. Now you can say this magnetic field is parallel to the axis of this side arm. Okay, this is also called as a current junction. There it was called as a voltage junction. Okay, as the magnetic field divides itself into arm. Okay, now the cross section detail so H plane T can be understood following figure. So that is given here. So you can go through this. Just keep in mind the definition of E plane T as well as H plane T is the axis of the side arm. You take axis of the side arm and just take the electric field and magnetic field which is parallel to the which one is parallel to the side arm. So axis of the side arm. If electric field is parallel to the axis of the side arm, at that time we can say that is called E plane T or series T. Okay. And if the axis of the side arm is parallel to the magnetic field, at that time we called as a shunt T. Okay, and or also called as a H plane T. Okay, clear? Now you can see, if you see the 2D figure, two-dimensional figure, so we have port 1 and port 2. This is a transmission line which is there, or you can say waveguide we have, and a third port which is connected perpendicular to the side B. Okay, so this side B, it is connected. So port 3, this is called port 3. Now, can we have the properties of H plane T? So what are the properties of H plane T? And using, you can say, we just try to find out the S matrix of this H plane T. So what should be the S matrix? What should be the dimension? We have N is equal to 3 port. So that means we have S which is having dimension 3 cross 3. Okay. So the properties of H plane T can be defined by its S matrix. Okay. And the S, we have a 3 cross 3 matrix. So it can be written as S equal to S11, S12, S13, S21, S22, S23, S31, 32, 33. So that will be 3 cross 3 matrix, total 9 element. In that 9 element, we know out of 9 element, using the symmetry property, we can have the total unique element is 6. Now we will try to reduce also using this E plane T and H plane T. So in the H plane T. So now scattering coefficient 1, 3 and 2, 3 are equal here, as the junction is symmetrical in plane. So S13 and S23 both are equal, and both will be in same phase. Okay, both will be in same phase. That will not be in out of phase. Okay, so both will be in same phase. So S13 and S23 both are equal. Okay, that is not 180-degree out of phase. You can see here whatever the you can say direction of the electric field. Suppose electric field we have here, so electric field will be going, and same this electric field will be coming to this point, and here also will be in the same direction. So phase will be same. No, none of the port will be out of phase by 180-degree. Okay, so all will be in same phase. So if all are in same phase, so we can say input applying from port 3, input applying from port 3, and output getting at port 2, output getting at port 2. So 1, 3 and 2, 3 both will be in same phase. Now, what about the magnitude? So magnitude is there. So because it is symmetrical in nature, port 3 is connected in such a way that this collinear port will be symmetrical. about port 3. So it is connected in center of this line, center of this port. So this will be symmetrical and this will be, so 3 to 1, 3 to 2 and 3 to 1, that will be symmetrical. So S13 and S23 both are same. So S13 and S23 are same, and symmetry property also says Sij is equal to Sgi. So we can say S11 is equal to S21, S23 is equal to 32, and 13 is equal to 13 is equal to 31. Okay, so we can have this and we can use this. Okay, so now we have the port 3 which is called perfectly matched. So this you just eliminate. Okay, right now. So port 3 is perfectly matched. Perfectly matched means 3 3 should be equal to 0. So we can substitute here, and we found out that 1 1 1 2 1 3 we have, and we have 1 2 2 2 1 3 and 1 3 1 3. So why this 1 3 1 3 will be there? So first of all, we have 2 3 which is equal to 1 3. So we know we are having 2 3 which is equal to 1 3. So we can simply substitute 2 3 which is equal to 1 3. So 2 3 is equal to 1 3, and these all are equal. So these all are equal. Okay, here there it was 180-degree out of phase, that's why we have not equated. Here it is all are equal, so we can substitute here. So how many unique element we have? See how many unique element till now, matlab in that we don't know the value, but right now we can say 1 1 1 2 1 3. Okay, and 2 2 and 0. So total 5. One is reduced here. One is reduced. So here we had total 6 unique element. Now we have 5. Now again we will try to reduce also, and we will try to find it out what are the values of this scattering coefficient. So we can use the unitary property of a scattering matrix and zero property of a scattering matrix. So we can take unitary property S and S conjugate, which is equal to identity matrix, S matrix and S conjugate which is equal to identity matrix. So we can substitute here, and you can find it out. So we can write all the equation if you want, you can write, but I'll try to write the identity which we have. So S11 is star. Okay, so I'll just take first row, first column, so that I'll get 1. So S11 is star, S12 is star. Okay, plus 13 is star, which is equal to 1. So can we have this S11 square plus S12 square plus S13 square, which is equal to 1. So this is the equation number 1, or equation, any equation number A you can take. Already it is written here. Why I'm writing? So all these equation which is written here, you can see row 1 multiplied with the column, so that is equal to 1. So we got S11 square, S12 square, S13 square is equal to 1. Similarly, if you multiplied with the row 2 with this column 2, so row 2 with the column 2, so second row multiplied with the second column, so 1 2 star, 2 2 star, and 1 3 star. So 1 1 1 2 square, 2 2 square, and 1 3 square. So that is written here as 1 2 square, as 2 2 square, as 1 3 square, which is equal to 1. Now can we have 1 2 1 2 which is same here, 1 2 1 2 which is same, and 1 3 1 3 which is same, and right hand side is also same. So from this we can compare, and we can find it out. S11 is equal to S22. Okay, S11 square is equal to S22 square. So from this we can take S11 should be equal to S22. Okay. Now, if we take third row, which is multiplied with the third column, so 1 3 star, 1 3 star, which is equal to 0. So which is equal to 1, and 0 multiplied with the 0. So we'll get 1 3 square plus 1 3 square is equal to 1. So from this we can find it out. S2 times S13 square, which is equal to 1. So we can say S13 which is equal to 1 by root 2. So we got these things. 1 3 is equal to 1 by root 2. First value we got. Now again we can take any row. So preferably we can take third row, and any of the column we can take. So third row and first column if I take, then what will happen? So 1 3 1 1 S13 S11 star, S13 S12 star, 0 multiplied with this one, which is equal to, we get 0. So accordingly we can take row 3 multiplied with the column 1, and we take S13 S11 star, S13 S12 star, which is equal to 0. So from this we can take 1 3 as a common. So we got this one, we got 1 by root 2. Okay, we got this one already we have. Okay, now we can take this row 3 here. So S13 we can take outside, and S11 star plus S12 star, which is equal to 0. So can I take these? See, the one condition is that if these two are multiplied, this is equal to 0. So one condition is either 13 is equal to 0 or this term is equal to 0. But we know 13 is not equal to 0. 13 is 1 by root 2. So 13 is 1 by root 2, which is not equal to 0. So that means this term should be equal to 0. So 1 plus 1 2, that is equal to 0. So here it is clear that S11 star should be equal to minus S12 star. So we can take S11, which is equal to minus S12. We can take complex conjugate again on both sides. So we'll get S11 is equal to minus S12, or S12 is equal to minus S11. Both will be 180 degree out of phase. Okay. Now we have equation number 3, and using the equation number 3 we will try to see what we are getting. So equation number 3, S13 is not equal to 0. So if S13 is not equal to 0, then what will happen? So 13 is not equal to 0, that means 11 star plus 12 star, that is equal to 0. So 11 star 12 star, already we have this one is equal to 0. So we can have S11, oh sorry, yeah, okay, from here also we can write, from this one, this equation also we can write it here, write it down. Okay, so that is same. Okay, no issues. Now we have S11 square plus S12 square. So here we can take this one, this equation. So now I'll write here S11 square plus S12 square plus S13 square, which is equal to 1. So 13, which is equal to 1 by root 2. So S13 square is equal to half. So I can write here half, which is equal to 1, and plus S12 square, and it is S11 square. So now we know S11 is equal to minus S12. So S12 is equal to minus S12. If you take a square on both sides, so S11 square is equal to S12 square. So can we take S11 square plus, this is also called as a S11 minus S11 you can take, which is a square, plus half or equal to half, you can write directly equal to half. So can I take 2 times S11 square, which is equal to 2 times S11 square, which is equal to half. So I can write it down, S11 should be equal to 1 by 2. Okay, I can take 2 is this side and take a square root, so we'll get 1 by 2. So S11 I am getting 1 by 2. So if I am getting S11 1 by 2, so that means S12, that is equal to minus 1 by 2. So from this we can write S11 is equal to we have 1 by 2. S11 is equal to 1 by 2. So S12 should be equal to, S11 is equal to half. So S12 should be equal to minus half. And what about other term? So other term I'll try to find out. We have just found out S13 is equal to half, and we have S11 is equal to S22. So S11 we just got this one. So we know that S11 is equal to S22, and that is also equal to half. So we can substitute all these in equation in S matrix, and we can find it out the matrix. So we have S11, S11, okay, and what we have reduced, S12, S13, okay, S12, S12, S13, okay, S21. So we have S21, okay, so S21 is equal to S12, S12, 2213, S12, S22, S13, and S13, S13, and 0. So we can have all these. S11 we just got, which is equal to half. S12 is equal to minus half, and 13 is equal to 1 by root 2. Just we got. So we can substitute 12 here also. 12 is equal to minus half, and 22 is equal to half. 22 is also half, and 13 again 1 by root 2. This is 0. This is 1 by root 2. This is 1 by root 2. So this is the S matrix for this one. And if you represent in B is equal to SA, so that will look like this one. So this is the scattering matrix, and it explains its scattering properties of the junction. Okay. So how many unique elements are there? Unique element, you can see how many unique elements are there. 1 by 2, we have unique elements. We have 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, 1 by root 2, okay, and 0. So there are 4 unique elements are there. Okay. So this is all about H-plane T. You can have the configuration, how the configuration is look like for the H-plane T. There is also called the different names of the H-plane T is there. That's called shunt T or current junction. Okay, so you should remember these things. Okay, their E plane T was called as a series T or called as a voltage junction. Okay, now next we have EH plane T, also called as a magic T. Okay, also called as a magic T. Why magic T is called is its name? We will see. So this we have E plane T and H plane T. So you take E plane T and H plane T, both will be there, both configuration will be there. So E plane configuration will be there and H as well as H plane configuration will be there. Here also we have, you see the configuration. We have if we take if we just remove this one, this side arm, this H arm, so this look like E plane T, and if you remove this, if you remove this E arm, so it will look like H plane T. Okay, so if you combine these two, this is called EH plane T. So EH plane T junction is formed by attaching two simple waveguide, one parallel and one other series, okay, to a rectangular waveguide which already has two port. So we take, generally we take three two port devices, okay, and we connect two port rectangular waveguide you can take, or two port transmission line. So we can take this and we just connect in such a way that this form a junction, and this junction will have the four ports. That's why the S matrix we will get at this junction, which is will be 4 cross 4. Okay, so port 1, port 2, this port 1 and port 2 is called collinear arm, and this port 3 and port 4, port 3 is called H arm and port 4 is called E arm. Okay, so now you can see here we have this collinear arm. So these collinear arm will be symmetrical about this port 4 and symmetrical, also symmetrical about port 3. Okay, so the arm of the rectangular waveguide make two port called collinear port, that is port 1 and port 3, while port 3 is called H arm or sum port, or you can say the parallel port. Okay, and port 4 is called E arm, or called as a difference port, or called as series. Why difference? Why sum? Because the phase of these collinear port are same. Okay, so that's why it's called sum port, and difference port is called phase will be out 180° out of phase about this E arm. So that's why the collinear port will be 180° out of phase about this arm. So cross section view which is shown here, and you can see this figure also. So this figure is giving you the 2D view of this one. So this is basically out of the board, or you can say out of the whatever you have, mobile phone or whatever the screen. So out of the screen the third port will be there, and this will be in the down, and this is the collinear port. Okay, so E arm, H arm, and here it is making a junction. Okay, so now what are the characteristic of E plane T? So what characteristic we have? Okay, so we will use a part by part for the characteristic, whatever the characteristic we have used for the E plane T and H plane T, we will use here also. So if a single or equal phase, if a single or if a signal of equal phase and magnitude is sent to port 1, okay, and port 2, okay, so equal phase and magnitude, so magnitude also equal, phase is also equal, okay, then the output at port 4 will be 0. Okay, because the port 4 is called as a difference port, because this port 1 and port 2 are 180° out of phase about port 4. I hope you understand. You can just relate E plane T. So that will be there. If you apply, if you take output from port 4 and you apply input from port 1 as well as port 2, and both is equal phase and magnitude, both are in equal phase and magnitude, you will get 0 at output 4, because both will be difference, both will be just both will be, you can say, subtracted with each other. Okay, because they are 180 out of phase, and the output at port 3 will be additive of both port. So if you take output at port 3, so it will act as a additive to them. Okay, so they are in same phase. Okay, so at port 3 they are in 0° in phase, 0° in phase about port 3. Okay, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, okay, okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Yes, sir.
okay. So now the next point says if a signal is sent to port 4, okay, so if you just apply the signal at port 4, so or port 4, you can say E arm, okay, E arm. So then the power is divided between port 1 and port 2 equally, but they are in opposite phase because they are 180-degree out of phase, while there would be no output at port 3, okay, because we can say third and fourth will be 0. That will be not be, there will be no transmission from port 3 to port 4, okay. So if you apply input from port 3, you will not get output at port 3. Okay, if you apply input at port 4, you will not get output at port 3. So this is the condition that microwave waveguide which is connected in such a way that S34 will become 0. That is the condition for H plane T. So S34 and S43 both that will be 0. S34 and S43 that is 0. So they are connected in such a way that it will be 0. But that is the condition, or you can say that is the characteristic of this one. Okay, so if a signal is fed at port 3, if you apply signal at port 3, that will be divided in port 1 and port 2 equally, and they will be in phase. They will be in phase, while there will be no output at port 4. Hence, 4 3 is equal to 0. So you're applying, I told you now, this is Sij. So this will be input and this will be output. So you're applying input at port 3 and taking output at port 4. So this will be 0. So keep in mind, do remember, when we talk about EH plane T, there 3 4 should be equal to 0 and S4 3 will be also be equal to 0. Okay. Now, if a signal is fed at one of the collinear port, okay, one of the collinear port, either at port 1 or port 2, one of the port only, one of the collinear port. See, I am taking the condition. If you are applying input at both the port 1 and port 2, then what will happen? If we apply input at port 4, then what will happen? If we apply input at port 3, then what will happen? If we apply input at one of the collinear port, that is port 1 and port 2, one of the port, so then what will happen? Then there appears no output at the other collinear port. So if we apply sorry, if we apply input at one of the collinear port, then we will not get output at this one. So this will be 0 at that time. Okay. So as the E arm produces the phase delay and H arm produces the phase advance, and they will cancel out. So there is a phase delay from E arm and H arm produces the phase advance. So that will be cancelled and you will not get 0. So S12 and or you can say S21, that is equal to 0. So 1 to 2, this is suppose 1, this is 2, and this is 3, this is 4. So if you are applying 2, you will not get output at port 1. So if you are applying input at port 2, you will not get output at port 1. If you are applying at input from port 1, you will not get output at port 2. Similarly, okay. So 1 2 and 2 1 should be equal to 0. So from this we can conclude that what are the things we got? S12 which is equal to S21 which is equal to 0, S34 which is equal to 0, okay, S43 which is equal to 0. Okay, that is the thing we've got here. Okay, that is the characteristic we have. Okay, these are the characteristics subject to condition yet for the different condition we have. Okay, now we have the properties, and properties can be again defined by its S matrix. So S matrix we have 4 cross 4 S matrix. Okay, so 4 cross 4 is defined in this way. Okay, this is the S matrix for the EH plane T. Okay, so there are 4 possible port. We have 4 output port, 4 outputs possible, and we can say if we have n cross n, so we'll get n cross n matrix. Okay, n number of port we have. Then here we have the 4 ports. So we got 4 cross 4, total 16 element we have. In that we take as S23 and S13. That is equal to, that is both are equal. So 1 3 and 2 3. So if you're applying input from port 3, if you're applying input from port 3, we will get port 2 at port 2, we will get at port 1, but while we not get at port 4. Okay, if you're applying input from port 3, will not get at port 4. So that is H plane T, we know 2 3 is equal to 1 3, and here from the E plane we know if you are applying input from port 4, that is E arm, if you're applying from E arm port 4, we'll get at port 2 and we'll get at port 1, but not get at port 3. Okay, so from this we have S 43 that is equal to 0, and here S34 that is equal to 0, and these two will be equal in magnitude, but they are 180-degree out of phase, so that's why minus sign is there. Okay, now it's also written E port, already I have dictated, but it is written here. So just I dictate, I just read out. So the E arm port and H arm port are so isolated that the other won't deliver an output. So they are isolated. They are isolated with each other. So if we are applying input from port E, input from E arm will not get output at H arm. If you are applying input from H arm, will not get output at E arm. They are isolated with each other. So they are isolated. That means if you apply input, okay, if an input is applied at one of them, will not get output of an output on another port. Okay, so that means S34 S43 is equal to 0. Okay, now next symmetry property, we know Sij is equal to Sgi. So from this we can say 1 2 is equal to 2 1, 1 3 is equal to 3 1, 1 4 is equal to 4 1, 2 3 is equal to 3 2, 2 4 is equal to 4 2, 4 3 4 is equal to 4 3. So that is the thing, we can use all these, and we can use all these, and we try to again redefine this S matrix. Okay, so again port 3 and port 4 are perfectly matched to the junction, so we get S33 and S44 which is equal to 0. So we assume that we are applying input from port 3 as well as port 4, then this should be perfectly matched. Okay, so we have taken 3 port 3 and port 4 which is perfectly matched. So we can substitute all the above equation in equation number 1 and we'll try to find out. So this is the redefined matrix. Okay, this is the redefined matrix. So 1 1, okay, 1 2, okay, 1 3 1 4, that will be as it is. 1 1 1 2 1 3 1 4, that will be as it is. And we have 1 2 2 2 1 3. So 1 2 2 2, so S21 will be S12 and S22 will be as it is. 1 3 is equal to, we know, S23 is equal to S13, so we can write it down, and S24 which is equal to S minus S14, so we can write it down. Okay, so we can use this, and we'll by using all these, this one also, and the above these things we can substitute. Okay, and we'll try to get this one. So now in this S matrix, redefined S matrix, you can see how many unique element we have. This one, 2 3, and this 4, okay, and 5 and 6. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, total 6 we have. Even minus sign is there, so 7, total 7 unique element is there. So out of previously it was more, out of 16 we are getting just 7 8 which is there. Okay, now we will try to use the unitary property, and in that unitary property, first of all I'll try to take the diagonal element. Okay, so for row 1 multiplied with the column 1, again row 2 multiplied with the column 2, row 3 multiplied with the column 3, row 4 multiplied with the column 4, and we got this one. Okay, so from this we can take, and we try to have, okay, so what are the value which we are getting, and we can substitute it down. Okay, so now we see here, if we multiply row 1 with the column 1, then what will happen? So row 1 multiplied with the column 1, so 1 1 is square, 1 2 is square, 1 3 is square, plus 1 4 is square. So 1 1 1 2 1 3 and 1 4 is square. Okay, I'm sorry, it is not equal to 1 4 is square. Okay, plus 1 4 is square is equal to 1. Similarly, if you take 1 2 1 2 S12 is star. Okay, so 1 2 is square, 2 2 is square. Okay, and 1 3 is square, 1 4 is square. So that will be there. Okay, that will be plus this one, which is equal to 1. Now again, this row multiplied with this column, so 1 3 which is equal to 1 3 square, 1 3 square is equal to 1. So from this we can conclude that S13 which is equal to half, and from this we can say S13 is equal to 1 by root 2. Okay, S13 is equal to 1 by root 2. Similarly, we can find it out, and here we will get S14 is equal to 1 by root 2. So got this one. Now you can just see it, compare this one. So this we compare, and 1 3 again we have. Okay, and 1 1 and 2 2. Okay, 1 2 1 2 which is there. So from this we can conclude that from these two equation we can conclude that 1 2 sorry 1 1 which is equal to S22. Okay, that is there. S11 is equal to S22 and S13 and S14 which we are getting as 1 by root 2. Now we can take this row again, row 4 you can take row 4 multiplied with the column 1, or you can take row 3 multiplied with the column 1 or row 3 multiplied with the column 2. Okay, so we take these two column and these two row and just multiply any one of them and try to get it equate with the 0. So we'll apply 0 property. So we can use that 0 property also and we can find it out. So now from this we can find out S13 is equal to 1 by root 2, S14 is equal to 1 by root 2 and S11 is equal to 1, S11 is equal to S22. Now we have S11 square, S12 square plus half which is equal to 1. So we have used this equation number 1. Okay, sorry, this equation number 1 and we got 1 3 and 1 4. The value of S13 square, S14 square we got. So we can use this S11, S12. Okay, without using 0 0 property also we can find it out because S11 and S22 okay, yeah, okay, S11 S12. So S11 square plus S12 square which is equal to 0 because these two will become half and half. So half will be plus 1 and equated with the 1. So 1 will get cancelled. So S11 square plus S12 square which is equal to 0. So S11 square is equal to S11 square plus S12 square which is equal to 0. So this means it suggests that it should be equal to 0. Why it should be equal to 0? Because we cannot take S11 square which is equal to minus S12 square. We cannot take it in this way. If we take, this will become imaginary. This will become imaginary or complex. So that is not correct. Okay, that is not correct. So we will take S11 plus S11 plus S12 which is equal to 0. S11 plus S11 is equal to S22 which is equal to 0. So this becomes S22 becomes 0. So now, okay, so now we can use this all these and we can substitute in this one and we found out that S matrix comes out to be this one. Okay, so this is 0 0 0 0 and this one half 1 by root 2 half minus 1 by root 2 1 by root 2 1 by root 2 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2. So here how many unique element we have? So we have 1 by 2 1 by root 2 minus 1 by root 2 1 by root 2. Okay, so that is the unique element and of course 0. So total 4 unique elements are there. Okay, and if you represent in this way, so that will be there. Now this is the conclusion from that these values which we are getting. So we conclude that port 1 and port 2 are perfectly matched to the junction. So if perfectly matched, so it means S11 which is equal to S22 that is equal to 0. So that is perfectly matched. Port 1 and port 2 are perfectly matched. As this is a port 4 junction, sorry, 4 port junction. So whenever 2 port are perfectly matched, the other 2 port also perfectly matched junction. So if 2 port is perfectly matched, the other 2 port will be perfectly matched. So initially we have taken these 2 port 4 and port 3 are perfectly matched. Initially we have taken port 3 and port 4 were perfect. And now from the derivation we got, or from the properties, applying properties, after applying the properties we got port 1 and port 2 are perfectly matched. So here it is understood that it is clear that if 2 port is perfectly matched, the other 2 port would be by default it would be perfectly matched. So the junction where all the 4 port is perfectly matched are called magic T junction. Junction which is having 4 port and all the 4 port are perfectly matched are called as a magic T junction. That is the definition of magic T. Okay, so if a junction is having all 4 port which are perfectly matched, that is called as a magic T junction. Okay, so this is the S matrix and this is the defines the properties of EH plane T. Okay, now we will see the application of EH plane T. Okay, so what are the application of EH plane T? So EH plane junction is used to measure the impedance. Okay, as an impedance. So we just using we are using the for measurement of impedance, or you can say characteristic impedance. A null detector is connected to E arm, okay, port, while a microwave source is connected to H arm port. Okay, so that is the configuration which we have. So a null detector which is used, okay, which is connected that E arm port, and we have the microwave source which is connected to H arm port, and collinear port together with these port make a bridge, and the impedance measurement is done by balancing the bridge. So we just balance the bridge, okay, and due to the this collinear port make a bridge. So it will look like a bridge, okay. So you might have seen the resistor in a bridge, okay, bridge network. So it make as a bridge network, and while you balance the bridge, okay, while balancing is here we are just taking the impedance, okay. So impedance matching will be there, so just match the impedance, you just balance the bridge, and you can have the measurement of impedance. You can find it out, the one port resistance measurement, one port measurement of impedance, okay. So you can measure the impedance of one port, okay. So balancing bridge, you might have familiar, okay. So we are having the like this resistance we have, okay, and okay, resistance we have, and this is somewhere connected to this one, okay. So and this is connected to the source, okay. So now, so we take it as a balancing of the that bridge. So just take R1, maybe R2, R3, R4, okay. So one of that is variable, and that will be varied accordingly to have the equally balanced, okay. Now, EH plane T is used as a duplexer. So it is also used as a duplexer. So duplexer, what is duplexer? Duplexer is a circuit which works as both the transmitter as well as receiver. Okay. So EH plane can be used as a duplexer. So what is the use? EH plane T first to use is measurement of impedance, and second use is duplexer. And what is duplexer? Duplexer is basically works for both, act as both transmitter as well as receiver, using the single antenna for both purposes, okay. So port 1 and port 2 are used as receiver and transmitter, where they are isolated, okay, and hence will not interfere, okay. So that will be there, and antenna is connected at to E arm port, and a match load is connected to the H arm port, which providing no reflection. So now there exists a transmission or reception without any problem, okay. So that is all there, and you can find it out, many videos that are there on the YouTube itself or internet also. So you can find it out how EH plane as used as a duplexer. Just write a keyword EH plane T used as a duplexer. So we will find the configuration which will be there, and that is connected in this way only, okay. Now the third application is EH plane D is used as a mixer. Okay, so how it is used as a mixer? So E arm port is connected with antenna, and H arm port is connected with the local oscillator. So it is connected as a local oscillator, and it is used as a mixer. Okay, so it is mixer means you are just adding the you take it as a one frequency. You have a you just take carrier frequency, and you just applying the one frequency from one more local oscillator F naught, and you're just adding the frequency and subtracting the frequency. So F naught, FC plus F naught, FC minus F naught. So that will be act as a mixer. So port 2 has a match load with which has no reflection, and port 1 has a mixer circuit, okay, which gets half of the signal power, okay, and half of the oscillator power to produce IF frequency, intermediate frequency, okay. Now, EH plane T junction is also used a microwave bridge, microwave discriminator, etc. So this can be used widely, and Magic T is having many more applications. Okay, real-time applications are there. So I have given you the idea about the measure of impedance, duplexer, and mixer. You can find many more applications of EH plane T. Okay. So now in the next class, we will be we will study. Let me see the syllabus. Okay, 1 minute. Let me see the syllabus. Yeah, in the next class, we will try to see the hybrid rat race circuit, hybrid ring. Okay, we will try to see the hybrid ring rat race circuit. Okay, then we will see the microwave waveguide corner bend and twists. Okay, okay, and then we will see the directional coupler. Okay, so that will be there. So that's it for today. If you have any doubt, please let me know. Okay, any doubt, please let me know. Otherwise, I will stop.